I said it last week after finishing up our achievement run, going one of the biggest countries in the world, the Mongol Empire and everything that entailed. And I got so done with it near the end, all the micro of a pseudo world conquest, having to go to war over and over and over again. What if we switched it up and we didn't expand and we played tall in a country where you don't normally play tall and in an area where you're not supposed to play tall? Here we are going to go for the Victorian 3 as one of the 3 countries that borders Lake Victoria in Africa. Make it to Tech 32 in all tech groups. It's very boring. It's a very long run. I wasted 12 hours of my life on this, but we formed Kitara within like 20 years, and then we just sit there and do nothing for another 400 years. So I hope you enjoy this playthrough. So similar to last week's video where I messed up the audio, this time I accidentally kept it completely muted. I've been making YouTube videos for 12 years. You'd think I'd figure this out by now. But the start is not that much of an issue. We raise the free company, we build up our army, and you can see that in order to form Kitara, we need to basically take out everybody around us. First things first, we're going to set up the estates like we normally do, seize land, go for the whatchamacallit, the agenda of the diet, and it doesn't really matter what you take here because we're just gonna go to war over and over again. The agenda or the estates are very simple as well. It's the standard estates, the +1 mana privileges, the things that scale on the estate loyalty, and we're also gonna take this one here where we embrace a singular cult. As a fetishist nation, we get things called cults, which are slight boosts to our it depends on which you choose, but they're just slight boosts that you get for choosing a cult, and you get more the more religions you're exposed to. So they're not very good. You get like improved relations or discipline or tolerance of the true faith, which, I mean, that's all nice, but the discipline is only like 2.5%. The tolerance is only like 2, which does help you after you conquer. So it's okay. The main thing is that it prevents stability loss on death, if I remember correctly. I know I do have that effect later in the game. So yeah, I mean, just standard estates. We're gonna get the cheaper advisors later, once we start making money, once we actually form Kitara. And yeah, it's just a standard start. And the easy thing is, everyone around you will not have allies. Like, nobody allies each other. You can see it's 2 years later after building up these spy networks, because we don't start with claims on anybody, which we would have if I had gone to the mission tree and actually followed one of the missions that gives us claims on everybody around us. But I didn't because I'm stupid, and every single one of these wars is very easy. You just, oh, they have no allies, declare the war, send in all your troops, stack wipe them, and even if you don't stack wipe them, they get sent off into the wilderness where the natives are going to stack wipe them. So you just do this one by one over and over again, and it takes like maybe 10-15 years before, you know, all of these wars end. We eventually do come to a couple of countries that do have allies, so we have to we have to call in our own ally, Luba, over here, and, you know, use them to help against the enemy allies. You know what I'm trying to say here. But it's one of those things where you just sit on their provinces until they finally throw up the white flag, completely eat them up. In this case, I had to go to war with the country that was allied to my own ally, so I had to cheese that a little bit. But as you can see, it's very easy to just eat everything up one by one by one, just taking small baby steps forward, and within 15 years, we've gotten everything over here. You have to core everything up before you can form Kitara, which, it's just a slight delay. It's not going to take that much longer. And you can see here, we're also going to develop for feudalism, and we are going to have to develop for all of the lower or the earlier institutions: feudalism, Renaissance, colonialism, printing press. After that, we just get global trade and manufactory. We actually spawn manufactories later in the game. I have a clip of that later. And here we form Kitara. We get new Kitara traditions and ambitions, and it actually gives us a couple of frontiers in the wilderness around the lake, and helps us connect our lands to where eventually Killua will be situated. So it gives you an avenue to start expanding southwards, westwards, away from the lakes, which we're not going to be doing. Here we're going to start developing for the Renaissance as well in our capital, and it is very expensive because we are, you know, this tribal nation. We are locked away from the rest of the world, so it is high cost to develop, even when it is something like a savanna. It's not even like a hills or a mountains, it's just, you know, this is what we are. We're a small nation in the middle of Africa. And I mean, to bring all of these provinces from 3, 4, 5 to development to like 50 development each, it's a long haul. It's a slog. It is not a very fun achievement that we're doing right now. And here we have an event Into the Unknown where we start colonizing a province next to us. And I thought we were going to get more of that. We don't. And I expand on that later. But I'm going to drop it back off to myself after I find out. Just realized I was muted the entire time. Perfect. I'm sure I'll come back and do a voiceover of it, but let's be real, we didn't miss much. Ooh, gems. That's nice. But yeah, I went to turn on a Gordon Ramsay video and I saw, oh, my desktop audio is still on. That means I'm doubling up on the EU4 audio. Oh, look at that, my microphone is muted, so all the recording I've been doing for the past... not even an hour. See, you can form Kitara in like 30 minutes, this isn't even that hard. This video is only going to be 20 minutes long, let's be real. Alright, I didn't record for like the last 50 years that I was playing, but something really cool just happened. We spawned manufactories in Karagwe. You're catching us right now as well in, I think this is like the 7th or the 8th Kitaran humiliation of Killua. We're just doing show strength over and over and over again, so that's 800 of each point that we've been able to steal from Killua. Even Adal was big enough that they were able to get hit by it too, and ooh, we're also at war with Ethiopia right now, who is also at war with the Mamluks, which is really nice. So all of our enemies are going to keep falling apart, and getting manufactories here means it's going to be really funny that everyone over in Europe is not going to have it. So that is really cool. Thank you. After embracing manufactories for only 1 ducat, we have become a great power. Probably because of the institutions. And that's really it. We dethroned Venice, who we can't really see on the map just yet. But just staying right down here, we have become one of the top 8 great powers in the world. Now, I will say that does not reflect in much, because our only military idea group being mercenary means that our military really sucks. Like, these wars that I've been fighting against Killua have actually been really hard, and my allies Congo, Sakalava have been doing the heavy lifting. So these wars to show strength have been a little bit more difficult than they should be, but that's because I didn't really optimize for a strong military. But that's how it's been going. Alright, so I had to record this moment as well. It costs 97 mil points to get Tech 28. We're in the year 1775, and it costs less than 100 points, and it's because, you know, there are a couple of policies that we took earlier, and in the mercenary ideas, there's, you know, the tech cost reduction and that kind of thing, but, I just needed to come to the side to do this, because, look, we already have, let me scroll down to military technology cost, minus 65% from policy, neighbor bonus, ideas, and then if we go lower, there is, technology cost minus 30%, so, like, we really are Wakanda out here. Like, it costs the fraction of an idea to get that tech up. That's just crazy to me. It's insane. All right. This is the second time I think I've played the game to this length. The year 1811. We have Revolutionary United States is the economic hegemon. Ming never collapsed. Weirdly enough, it looks like Delhi formed the Mughals. Ottomans, #1 great power. Castile was my ally for a little while. They also never got Aragon. I don't know how, they just never got Aragon. Then Castile became revolutionary, broke the alliance, and then the Ottomans just ran them over for some reason. Brazil popped out. The Revolutionary United States are very huge. And as far as the entire globe goes, there is one uncolonized province, and it is this one right here that I never touched. I don't remember if I got this on camera, but I got an event that it was like an event pop up, and it's like, oh, you're gonna start colonizing this province. And I'm like, okay, cool. And I was hoping it would happen for a couple other provinces around me, but then it never did. So we still have this nature reserve right here. As far as everything has gone so far, we are about 1 month away. And then bop, bop, bop. We have reached maximum technologies and Victorian 3. Reach admin, diplo, and miltech 32 as one of the small countries that borders Lake Victoria at the start of the game. And I gotta say, this felt like a waste of 15 hours of my life. Would not recommend doing this. And partly because I played tall, I didn't really do anything court innovative infrastructure mercenary for the tech costs. I was thinking about going admin ideas for the tech reduction there, but let's just take a quick look at these modifiers that we have. Admin tech cost minus 52%. Advisor costs minus 45%. I mean, this is just stuff that'll happen when you get to the end of the game, am I right? Let's see. We keep going down. Culture conversion cost minus 50%. That's, you know, nice to have. Diplo advisor cost plus 40%. Diplo tech cost minus 38%. Let's keep going down. We have a lot. 2 free policies, by the way. 2 free policies helped us out a lot. Institution spread, it was a lot higher earlier, but I changed a few things around. Let's see. We also have, you know, ignore all the mercenary stuff. Again, I just took the mercenary ideas for one of the policies. Where is it? We have an additional policy, possible policies right there, +1. And I'll go to the policies in a little bit, but first we have to see where is military advisor cost, military tech cost, most of this coming from ideas and policies. And then on top of that, tech cost minus 10%. It was, I did not really feel super powerful because, I mean, look at what we have here. Legitimacy, stab cost modifier, embracement cost. Like the embracement costs are never really came into effect because look at how much money I have and I'm just sitting on it. I can't spend my money on anything because I have built every single building I possibly can. I have maxed out everything. I've expanded infrastructure and I have all the manufactories. I might be able to already has 2 manufactories in these provinces because I also built a couple of the state houses, you know, like, it felt like playing this tall was a mistake, but I also feel like playing it wide would have been a mistake too, because, okay, a little bit of CCR, unjustified demands minus 20%, I guess, infantry combat ability and manpower recovery speed. Like, this country sucks, dude. This country sucks. But the way I played it, look at all of these policies. We have like 3 free policies, an extra policy, an extra diplo policy, and then all of these options that we have. Like, why do I have mercenary discipline minus +5%? That doesn't do anything for me. It was probably during an earlier war and I just forgot to take it away. But Power projection from insults. We were insulting a lot of people. I did have this on at one point. Fort maintenance and fort defense, that doesn't really matter, but it was for saving money, you know. Let's see. This is where it comes in, the admin and the Diplo skill slots. Diplo rep +1, mercenary cost, again, I don't remember why I have that one down, but advisor costs, yearly corruption, and then tax modifier, production efficiency, tax modifier, stab cost modifier, development cost, and primary culture. And we had a lot of development here. Like, let's take a look at how Wakanda we are. Dev, bam, it's all green. Our lowest dev province is 57, and that does compete. Like 49 over here in Somalia, 44 over here in Yemen. There's 62 over here in Castile. Earlier there, yeah, Lorraine 71. Over here in Ming, you have Luoyang 67. So like, I am super high development, and you know, playing just in my little pocket of the world, it was nice. It was okay. And what I did was I constantly went to war with pre-Somalia. It was Adal, I think it was. And then Kilwa, before they got eaten up by revolutionary Portugal. I would just go to war with those two over and over and over again for show strengths. And we got a lot of extra points. Those points would be put into, you know, developing my country, which is, I mean, just look at it. This was just a waste of time. And I really, really hate the achievements that are just, oh, play to the end of the game. Because realistically, if I had gone wide, I think I would have just taken everything in Kilwa, everything in Congo, and then probably everything down here in South Africa. Like, I don't want to deal with Central Africa. I don't want to deal with over here. I already hate dealing with rebels to start with. And look, I had so much extra points that I even changed all of the culture in my area over here. So like, this was boring. This was a waste of time, and I really hate these achievements that are literally play to the end of the game, because there's 12 years left in this game, and like, it was a waste of time. Ming military hegemon. We were on the great powers list at one point, but obviously with only 1,000 development, which, I mean, 1,000 development in such a small country. We have 19 provinces, 1,100 development. That's really good. Like, that's pretty cool. If I did go wide, then, you know, I wouldn't have been spending my points on developing. I would have been spending my points on, you know, coring and, you know, unjustified demands and more military officers and things like that. So it was cool to develop all of my lands up to like 60 each, but I really don't feel it. Like, it doesn't feel powerful. I had a lot of discounts from, you know, infrastructure and all of these other idea groups, but I just never really felt it. And honestly, like, this is not a country to play tall like Ming is, even though they went tall and wide. Like, when I played Ming tall, that was a lot of fun, because you have events that will constantly happen. You have earthquakes, floods, rebels rising up constantly, managing the, you know, the northern frontier. Like, you have stuff to do. When you're the Netherlands playing tall, it's like, okay, you have surrounded by all of these superpowers, and none of them like you because you have very highly developed land already, and they want to take it from you, and you're right next to one of the most powerful trade nodes in the world. Like, that's interesting. This down here, this was not fun playing tall. It was very boring. And sure, that is my own making. I get it. But like, again, if I had played wide as Kitara, we don't get that many buffs to anything. Like, what is 10% infantry combat, 15% manpower recovery, 15 core creation cost? Like, sure, it didn't really take much to form this country, but it's not really worth farming. It's not really worth playing as. And if I could have just AFK'd and let my computer speed 5 and not have to worry about wars being declared on me or my allies trying to pull me into wars that would stop the timer, then this would have been a lot more fun. I would have just watched YouTube videos and watched my little monarch points go up and up and up and up and up, and then spend them every so often on technology. But like, this was... I'm glad I got this achievement done in the same way that I got the Hawaii achievement done, because both of these achievements are just terrible. It was just terrible. Thank you very much for watching. Next week, I don't know what we'll be covering. I still do need to do my world conquest as Austria, but honestly, I haven't even begun to start that because I spent so much time on the Mongolia run, and I spent so much time on this that I'm gonna try to get that off the ground. If I can't, you'll probably see a video of a slightly easier achievement like a Manipur over in Bengal. I just saw Quorbit make a video about that not too long ago. That's good inspiration, so I might do that too. So thank you very much for watching, and that is going to be it from us.